Module 11, we learned that we can number each note of our scale. These numbers allow us to talk about the different degrees of our scale, as well as measure the distance between our notes. We measure distance in music in intervals. Here we can see the notes of a C major scale, which have been numbered 1 to 8. If we were to look at the distance between the first degree or tonic of the scale and each subsequent note, we would find the following intervals. The distance between C and D is called the second. The distance or interval between C and E is called the third. The interval between C and F is called the fourth. The interval between C and G is called the fifth. The interval between C and A is called the sixth. And the interval between C and B is called the seventh. As you can see, these intervals are named after the scale degree of the top note when the bottom note is taken as the tonic or first degree of the scale. The two intervals I've left out are important ones. The first one, C to the same note C, is called a unison. This is the interval between two of the same note. The second special interval is called an octave. This is the distance between a note and another note with the same letter name, but 8 notes higher or lower. We can apply the same formula to work out the intervals between the notes of the F major scale. Here we can see the notes of the F major scale numbered 1 to 8. Our first interval is the unison because these two notes are the same. Our next interval, F to G, is a second. When we move from F to A, we have a third. The interval from F to B flat is a fourth. Please remember that you have to still include your accidentals when writing intervals. If we were to leave out the B flat, it would create a different type of interval, and this is something that we'll deal with in the next few modules. The interval from F to C is a fifth. The interval between F and D is a sixth. The interval between F and E is a seventh. And finally, the interval between my low F and my high F is an octave. Please remember when numbering intervals that you should always treat the bottom note of the interval as the tonic or first degree of your scale, and then work out which degree of the scale the top note is. A common error when working out intervals is to simply count the number of notes between the two notes of the interval like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is incorrect because when we look at the C major scale, A is the 6th degree of the scale, not the 5th. It's incredibly important to remember that the bottom note is the first degree of the scale and should be counted as number 1, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please practice numbering the intervals in the accompanying notes and feel free to come and see me if you need any help with this section of work.